Hi, I'm Andy LeGrand, and you're listening to a special episode of Knox Guitar Box. Today I will share a conversation I had with Miss Ana Vidovic. Ana is an exceptional musician and guitarist, and she'll be performing live and in person at St. John's Episcopal Cathedral in Knoxville, Tennessee on April 10th of this year. The concert is a Knoxville Classical Guitar presentation. Tickets are on sale now. Visit KnoxvilleClassicalGuitar.com to purchase tickets and for more information. Today's Composer's Spotlight will feature yours truly. I've not shared one of my compositions this year via this podcast, and as this episode is slightly different than the preceding, I'll share only the title track off my album titled The Vision. Stay tuned for my conversation with Ana will follow. You're listening to The Vision by Andy LeGrand. Hello, Miss Ana Vidovic.
Yes, hi.
Hi, this is Andy LeGrand with Knox Guitar Box and Knoxville Classical Guitar.
Hi, Andy. How are you
I'm
doing?
doing wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for taking my call.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
Sure.
we are really excited that you're coming next month.
Thank you. I look forward to it. I'm so glad that you will be doing a live performance with some audience, right?
Right, yes.
In a very nice venue.
Yes, St. John's Cathedral, which is a beautiful place downtown, and
Yes.
it holds a larger audience too, so that'll be nice.
I looked it up. It looks beautiful.
Yeah.
Looks very, very nice. So I'm really looking forward to it.
And we've been talking a lot with a lot of folks about just this last year and like live music. And gosh, you can just tell by the audiences that it's just itching for good live music, and because it's just been so long. And I thought,
yes, it's really. I think everybody's looking forward to coming back, and I think this year has just been. It's just been crazy. So, there's nothing quite like live music and being in the same room, with the musician and the audience, and online is okay, but live is just, there's nothing that compares to that. So
right, and particularly when it's the fine arts as well. There's just something about that, the finesse and the effort that goes into that, and how it's just. It's just not as accessible. I saw you had put out a couple of videos for your fans and just kind of was like, hey, I appreciate your support. Thanks for thinking of me, and I'm thinking of you guys. We're all working through this together, and saw you did some online concerts. But I know most performing artists just didn't have a lot going on. Were you busy, or did you have other projects you were working on, or?
Well, I think we're all kind of in the same boat, and it's really, really difficult for the arts right now. And this whole year has been just when everything started last year in February and March. It was so interesting because all the concerts that were booked, just one by one, they just got canceled.
Yeah.
So Diane and I were like, okay, here we go, another one. So it was quite a shock in the beginning. It took some time to kind of gather the thoughts, and I figured out, okay, it's going to be tough for a while, and then then I think people started doing things online, and so I was asked to do several things online, and it was fine at the time, and I just wanted to kind of reach out a little bit to everyone and just say a few words, and it was just a way to connect with people, and because there was no other way, and
right.
we knew it was gonna be a while, so I did several things, and some presenters wanted to do live. Just a few, not many, but of course with limited audience, and
right.
It takes a lot of planning, and it's not as easy as it used to be. So I did some of that, but it was a tough year, I think, for everyone. I'm hoping, this year, and that's why I'm so glad. And I admire that you're willing to do the live, that you're willing to make an effort, and because it does take a little bit more work, right, for you, to make this happen. So I do appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you. Well, and we're glad that you're coming and performing, and I did an online concert in January, and since then we've had 2 live concerts with the social distancing and mask, and they've gone very well, and but you could just tell people are hungry for it, But it was funny. Both of the artists were saying, "Man, it's just been so long since we've played." It's almost like a rebutting, of how like I'm out here on the stage and I remember how to do this.
Yeah, it's true. You're right. It feels a little bit strange to be back on stage because it's been a while. So it's kind of have to go back and but that's good. So you've been doing some live performances already.
Yes.
That's great.
Yeah, we've done 2 and they went well. And this particular venue where you're playing at the cathedral, there's just right at 100 people with social distancing that could be there, and that keeps everybody safe and healthy. But
that's good.
But it's just a good thing to be able to get out and do where we were just so cooped up for so long.
Yeah, I think people want to get out and
Yep.
and things and as opposed to, like I said, online is okay, but then we're sitting at home and I think it takes an effort, right, to go to the concert and to actually be there and in person. So it's yeah. Anyway, I'm glad that you're doing that.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I'm just curious. Can you give us a little insight of what you might play for us?
Sure. Well, during this past year, I've had some time to work on some new repertoire, so I will try to include that for the concert with you, and there will be some Bach, since I love Bach. And, I will probably do 2 pieces by him, and then there will be some Giuliani and some Tedesco as well.
Okay.
And then probably also some Spanish as well, so maybe Toroba.
Yeah, okay,
so kind of a mixture of different things.
Okay,
This past year has been a good time to work on some new pieces, and because sometimes there's not enough time. If you're traveling and working all the time, it doesn't give you much time to learn new pieces. So I'm looking forward to playing some new things for you in Knoxville. Yeah.
Well, you mentioned Toroba, one of my favorite composers, the Castles of Spain. It's and I know you have an album out with that collection on it. And I've listened to that through the years, and I really do enjoy that.
I will try to include some Toroba since you like it.
Yeah. Do you have favorite composers that you like to play, where you just kind of, if you had a go-to, who you might pick up and play for yourself?
Since I was very young, it's always been Bach. I don't know why. It's just something that I connect with the most. Yeah. And just his music is just, I don't know, so just so beautiful, so complex, and actually pretty demanding to play on guitar. So I find that even some pieces that I've been playing for a long time, there's still things that you discover, and it just you never get bored with it. It doesn't get old. It's just there's always these beautiful lines and things you learn over time. So I probably would say it would be Bach. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I often think that he perhaps is from another planet because of the way he was able to compose minimal dynamic changes and things. It's just the way everything's accented. Do you have a favorite piece you like by Bach that you play?
Probably the first violin sonata. I'll play it in Knoxville.
Okay, great.
Yeah, it's probably one of my favorites. Also, of course, the Chaconne is beautiful, and the entire piece, not just the Chaconne, but the other movements as well.
Yeah.
There's a cello suite, and then I think anything. I listen to a lot of violinists playing, and also pianists. So you're absolutely right. It just sounds like he's from another. He probably was from another planet.
Right.
Absolutely, I'm sure he was. He was not from this this planet.
Yeah. He's amazing. So great. Well, I look forward to that. Your brother Victor. I've watched his performance as well, and I know you guys played together when you were younger too.
Yes.
And I can't imagine what it would be like to be raised in a home or in a community where you would just swim in music, and where because your other brother is a musician as well, and you guys were you're all fine artists, and just I can't imagine what that's like, and I'm just I think I read that he was an inspiration to you when you were younger. Did he play Bach?
Oh yes, he did.
Yeah.
Victor is a phenomenal guitarist, and he's still an inspiration, and also my other brother as well. He's a pianist, so
right, yeah.
Victor was actually he was the reason why I started to play guitar, and because he's a bit older than me, so he was actually he's the oldest in the family, so he was the one that started to play guitar. My father was a musician as well, but he played electric guitar. We had a lot of records at home. My father collected the records. We had Segovia, we had Williams, and he loved guitar. So for some reason, Victor picked up the guitar, and then I kind of watched him and was just like amazed with his ability. And then, so, I said to my parents, I'd like to do this as well. So, and that's how it started. But we were very fortunate, that we grew up with so much music and surrounded with so much music, and to keep our minds occupied. And it was also a different time, in the 80s. So probably, I don't know what I would have done if there was none of that. I probably would have chosen some other profession, but it was just something that we did, and my other brother, pianist, he's also phenomenal and very talented. And, so, I'm very grateful.
Yeah,
that,
it's fantastic. And I just, when I think of families like yours, or families like the Romeros, where they're born into music, and I think that it's just like, what a nice gift, to be born into that, and then what a nice gift to experience it all your life and take advantage of it, and
it is a gift. Music is a gift. In itself. So, but there has to be, I think influences and the reason why you start, why you pick up an instrument or it could be anything else. It doesn't have to be music. So, we were lucky. I was lucky to have an older brother who was a phenomenal guitarist and just follow his steps, so. But how did you start?
I actually started with voice, and I was in a church choir, a children's church choir, and then it just kind of took its own path. A lot of religious music when I was younger, but when I got into my teens, I was in a band, and we wrote music and played, and then within performing arts high school. So I've been in music. But it wasn't a family thing. I was just around it. And I really, it's interesting. I teach a high school guitar class. And those students, I talk to them, and I ask them what they did on the weekend or things like that, get to know them, and they play video games or they do, and it's, I didn't do that. I was rehearsing with my band on Sunday, or every moment I had, I was doing music. So I do think there is a little bit of a drive that's inside of us, that pulls us to those areas.
You're right. Yeah. And also it's a different time today. Yeah. Maybe 10, 20 years ago, it was, again, also a different time. I think, I don't know, in Europe, it's a kind of a, culture. Kids start very young to play an instrument. They're kind of raised that way. So we didn't have video games at the time, so there was nothing else to do but play music. So but today is again a different time.
A lot of there's a lot of distractions from some things like music, because I think music's so important. And you mentioned the gift. You're coming out into the world in that family and learning that, and then playing like you are is a gift to everyone. And that's why it's just like this. They say that music is the gift that keeps giving, and it's true. It really is. And I'm so glad that people like yourself are sharing that. I have spoken with several people this year on our podcast, and Goran Ivanovic and Silvio. I've talked with Silvio as well, and you guys are just kind of across the water from each other in that area. The whole area there, it's one of those magical cradles of fine musicianship and so many opportunities. And I really just think I would love to go visit sometime and just spend some time in some of the music history in that area, because that's just so wonderful how you guys come from there.
You should. Yeah, there's a long tradition of music, and classical guitar is pretty strong, in that area. And so we kind of all grew up in the same time, and it was the same similar generation, and many guitarists came from that area, and it's just a long tradition, and a great school and really good teachers, and so with Goran Ivanovic, and many others. I
have noticed that the three of you that I've interviewed that are from that area have gone to college early, the Academy of Music. Did I read that about you correctly, that you actually entered college, like the study of music at age 14? Is that correct?
It was pretty, I think I was about 13, 14. It was very early. a little bit too early if you ask me now, but it's it was just I guess a natural progression because I started very young, so it was it was difficult because everybody was at that time much older than me, so it was kind of strange to be at a college with with the 18s and 19-year-olds. But I had a wonderful teacher that I worked for many years in Croatia, and basically taught me everything I know, and so and many other teachers. So there was a really important time for me, and to learn as much as I could, and yeah.
Well, and then you studied at Peabody, right, with Manuel Barreco?
Yes, I studied with Barreco for about 5 years, and I did my master's here in the States. Yes.
Yeah, great. Paths always amaze me, how people end up where they are and doing what they do. So I just wanted to talk with you a little bit about that. I appreciate you sharing that. I know we're all hopeful that this year remains on the path that it is to open up, to be able to do more of the things that we have done in the past, perhaps differently, but maybe to do it. Do you have any plans going on? You have any projects for this year, or is there anything big you're doing, or you just kind of stepping back into it slowly? What are your thoughts about this year for you?
Well, I'm certainly hoping, as everyone else, that I think as musicians, our main goal is to be able to perform live for a live audience, and that's what we love to do, and that's how we connect with our audience, and that to me is just I can't even describe with words, with the feeling that you have when you play for people, and when you're right there in the same room with them, and when you're able to share the music, and that's why we do it. So I'm hoping that things are slowly opening up. It's I can see a little bit of a change already. So I think people are trying to, people like yourself, and that are trying to make open things up and make an effort to do what they can do in this situation, and which is very, very important. We have to, life has to keep going. We can't stop. Of course, with a lot of care and it takes a bit more work and effort to make things happen, but I think maybe it's slowly time for a change, and because people need music. Music is so valuable at a time like this. We need it. We need to connect with each other, and because this year has been tough for everybody. So that's kind of what what I want to do, and maybe it was good to take some time off and work on ourselves, and and learn some lessons from this past year, and so. But I think we're all eager to go back to what we love doing. Sometimes things have to stop, and you have to, because life is so fast paced these days, and everybody's running, and so it's good to take some time. I hope we can learn something from this, from this tough year.
My hope is that people will be a little more grateful for the things we took for granted, including myself. And I was in the live music world, performing and then producing and teaching in person. And when all that went away, I was like, holy smokes, I miss a lot of this stuff. But you miss those,
absolutely.
You miss those details when you're doing it.
Absolutely.
So maybe as we walk back through it, we'll be a little more grateful for what we're doing. And I think that's really important.
Absolutely, I completely agree with you. Yeah. It's when it's taken away from you, then you realize how much you miss it, because we do take a lot of things for granted, and then I think we will learn to appreciate it more. And when I see you on April 10th, when I see the audience, I think I will appreciate it even more. And every concert is going to be very special from now on, because it wasn't there, this past year. So.
Yeah. Well, we certainly have missed it and missed all the performances. And it's funny, we get into like YouTube videos, and I know people were cranking them out. I even did some myself, and I think we just get so saturated with the digital this year, and that kind of thing. So it was just I'm just really looking forward to that, just moving into it in a different direction. But we did learn a lot about technology this year, didn't we?
Yes, we sure did. You know, it was like, I mean, I'm not a technical person at all, so it was like, wow, I have to learn how to do this. And it was like, it was good. It was a good experience. But you know, I think YouTube is great, but my fear was a little bit this year that that we are going to get so used to being at home and just looking at our computer and listening to the music that way. I was like, okay, I hope that this doesn't take over, that we're not going to go anywhere anymore.
Right.
We'll take it step by step and see how it goes.
Yeah.
But hopefully things will start moving a little bit more this year.
Yeah. Again, we're looking forward to you coming, and I think you'll enjoy the space we're going to play in. I think it's going to be a nice combination of audience, you and the place. So I'm really looking forward to that. So,
Great. Thank you so much. I look forward to it too.
I appreciate you taking the time to chat with me.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
Yeah, and we will see you April 10th here in Knoxville.
I will see you very soon.
Yeah,
I will see you very soon. Take care, and all the best to you.
Thank you. You too. Ana Vidovic will be in concert at St. John's Episcopal Cathedral, downtown Knoxville, Tennessee, on April 10th at 7 p.m. Tickets are available for purchase online, and if you're interested in attending the concert, I encourage you not to wait to purchase tickets, as seating is limited. Visit KnoxvilleClassicalGuitar.com to purchase tickets and for more information. If you would like to support Knoxville Classical Guitar and Knox Guitar Box, please visit KnoxvilleClassicalGuitar.com/podcast. There you will be able to make a single donation or set up monthly donations for any amount. Please know that all donations go directly to Knoxville Classical Guitar. This episode of Knox Guitar Box is sponsored by Francisco Navarro Guitars, handmade classical and flamenco guitars, fine quality craftsmanship, and amazing tone and playability in an affordable instrument. For more information, visit FranciscoNavarroGuitars.com. And by Flint Merrill Music, an online marketplace dedicated to music composed and arranged for the guitar. Visit FlintMerrillMusic.com for more information. Thank you for listening.